Well, the soaring gas prices at the pump are taking a toll on Americans. Take a look at this latest poll together. Let's look at gas prices. 6 out of every 10 of you have cut back on driving because of fuel prices. 7 out of every 10 of you watching right now say prices are causing financial hardship. Meantime, President Obama is pointing the finger at big oil companies over the weekend and says there is no silver bullet. But aren't his energy policies partly to blame? What do you think? Let's rumble. Joining us right now from Miami, Neal Asbury. From Boston, Michael Graham. And from Washington, D.C., Charles Ellison. Who do you blame, Michael Graham?
Well, my listeners are looking right at President Obama. I mean, people in Massachusetts, first of all, we pay the highest energy prices of anywhere in the country overall for heating our homes, et cetera, because of liberal, loony policies from Massachusetts liberals. But they're well informed and they understand. We have a president who's been anti-energy production from when he ran for office. He appointed a energy head, Mr. Chu, who said, I want European-level gas prices. Well, guess what? We got him. Why is anybody surprised?
But, you know, there was a McClatchy report out, Neal Asbury, that said that only 11% of Americans blame the president. And over the weekend, the president blamed big oil. Is any of that resonating?
Well, that's not what I'm hearing from my listeners, Brian. Hey, look, whenever the president is short on ideas, he goes long on demagoguery, and he's trying to whip up this fear and anxiety by pointing all the blame to this boogeyman, and the convenient boogeyman this time is the oil companies, the refiners, and the speculators. But let me tell you, and the president knows this, that speculators and profiteers, they thrive in chaos. In this hyper chaos that we have in our energy markets right now is because we have no vision, we have no leadership, we have no policy. We don't have a bad energy policy. We have no energy policy.
And we're not drilling much, Charles Ellison, over in Washington, D.C. I want you to take this quote in. This is from John Boehner's office, the Speaker of the House. He says the White House and the rest of the Democrats who run Washington are terrified about the political impact of gas prices because many of their policies, like the national energy tax, are explicitly designed to raise energy prices. Not a good combination.
Yeah, but, you know, while folks here inside the Beltway are worried about the political impact, you know, when you talk to Jane and Joe on the street, they pretty much realize they don't know the mechanics of how oil prices are situated. But what they do know, or what they have a general sense of, is it's a confluence of factors. It's from unrest in the Middle East to the amount of money that the oil companies make to how the oil is essentially distributed or how prices are set. I mean, they're not blaming it so much on President Obama or Republicans. I mean, a lot of times when you talk to folks on the street, or you talk to folks on radio, or you talk to a lot of listeners, they're talking about how basically the oil companies are getting away with a lot of money, or how retailers are setting gas prices at the gas stations. Right. I mean, it's just this general sense that people are being had, or people are being played as far as gas prices are concerned.
I'll tell you what, the one thing is pretty clear. The small gas station is not making a mint. In fact, most of them are going out of business. Michael, in the big picture, if gas is $5 or $6 a gallon, can the president get reelected?
Well, look, you know, it's way too early to predict that. You know, I used to run campaigns. I want to address something Charles was talking about. I think there is a lot of confusion. You know, blaming oil companies is, you know, easy demagoguery. I get that, and they are making a ton of money. But I think when people look at the president, they want to see some kind of leadership. They want to see, you know, that issue of vision. And when his answer is basically, hey, there's no magic bullet, what do you want me to do about it? It's almost like he's saying, what's everyone looking at me for? Dude, you're the president of the United States. Everyone's always going to be looking for you, even if you can't solve the problem, to show us the way out.
And you know what, Neal? That's what Michael's alluding to is what the president's been accused of with Libya and even Afghanistan, leading from the rear.
Well, let me tell you, I mean, the world has always been fraught with problems. And, you know, they're here today, they're going to be there tomorrow, and they were there yesterday. That's not the problem. Hey, look, it's not, you know, the president likes to talk about alternative energy. What my listeners are telling me is that alternative energy is kind of like unicorns. They're lovely to imagine, but they don't exist. It's time to fess up. I mean, fossil fuels are going to be here for a long time, for the next 10, 15, 20 years. My listeners are telling me we are blessed as a country. We have enormous oil deposits in our country, and we have the technology to get it out responsibly without impacting our environment. They're telling me drill here and drill now. We could replace 50% of our imported oil with supplies right here at home.
And that would send a message to the markets overseas that maybe we want to seriously be independent. That could bring prices down, the experts say. Neal Asbury, Michael Graham, Charles Ellison, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And good luck on your shows today.